Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 195 of the High Sensitivity Podcast, and thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, we talk about video game and movie news as well as we watched or played over the week. My name is Barry, along with my fellow Spider Women.
My name's Craig with nothing clever to say.
Yeah, my name's also Craig. I'm not going to top that.
Lovely. So we're going to get swinging right into the news.
Oh my god.
With my first web zip of the day being Madam Web is a flop and the worst movie in decades according to reviews. People are mad at Madam Web. We will be talking about it. I did see it.
No, you went and saw it?
Yeah, I did see it. Yep.
Oh, Barry. Did you get your money back?
I didn't spend any.
Fair.
Oh, okay.
It's totally fine then.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will be talking about that, but it opens up a lot of discussions in my friend groups, and I want to see what you guys think with that. Do you guys think that's like particularly the live action that's not with the three with Tom Holland, because we have two Venom movies and a Madam Web now? Is Sony ruining Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse? Should Sony give back Spider-Man? Not that they would, but like in your personal opinion.
They're never going to give it back, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Of course not. But
would you want them to?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm tired of I didn't think Venom was good either.
I didn't mind Venom. But I'm a huge fan of Tom Hardy, so like it's almost a can't do wrong kind of thing because of of him as an actor. So but I mean, I don't know. The flopping with the live action thing is a huge cause for concern that they can't nail it. And then you have, Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. Like you have this duplex of, sorry, this duicity. Is that a word? This dual succession.
Duality.
Duality. Thank you. I don't know why I said dualicity. You have this duality of like output that you're able to do with the Spider-Man franchise, and it's kind of upsetting that you can't nail the live action portion, and they got to think that their sales numbers. I mean, how did Venom do? Did it do okay despite?
So Venom did very well. Yes,
Yeah.
Venom did extremely well. That's
Okay.
why they made a second. I just personally feel like Madam Web has the same sort of culture. Like, I feel like this movie, yes, is reviewing very badly and poorly, but it may rake in enough money to be like sort of a Venom. That was my thinking as to what like this movie's potential could be, just because all of the marketing and everything we've seen is that they like the actors and actresses did not believe in the movie. Dakota Fanning, the main lead, quickly changed representations for people who were booking her roles. She after Madam Web, she left her old like booking agency and then went to another one. So it just seems as though Madam Web is caught in a lot of the crossfire, and I think she said she only saw like maybe 4% of the movie. Like Dakota, I think Johnson is her name, is just kind of like, yeah, I'm done. Like she kind of knew what this would be, I guess.
Fair. Now I'm curious to see your thoughts on it, because I was watching all the interviews and I'm like, yeah, she is just like, she is herself was saying how, not in like those words, but saying that like it was bad, like hinting at it was bad. Like she was just like, I don't care, which is never a good sign. But I saw a bunch of like the people's reactions after they came out of the movie, and oh my God, they're hilarious.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But yeah, at least that's what we'll talk about Madam Web a little bit more in the movie section. Next up for me, and I guess we'll go to the next biggest thing. The reason we didn't have an emergency podcast is because that Xbox announcement thing like was falsely, and it wasn't necessarily hyped up by us, but a lot of people hyped it up to find that like and things will change in the long run. But all that Phil Spencer ended up saying was, for the future of Xbox, we are sending 4 games of ours multi-platform,
Hmm.
all over a year old, and that they deserve to grow. Is kind of what their main thing was. Is that, if there's a whole bunch of reasons I can get into as to why they're doing this. One, like, if you want console or brand recognition, you need to put your stuff out on other consoles, so that way people like get interested in your brand. But Phil just kept talking about the future, the future, the future. I personally think this is the start of Xbox putting their stuff multi-platform, all of it at some point eventually.
So the
Sure.
start of the non-exclusive aspect from on Microsoft's side at least.
Yeah.
So here's the question: Does how fast or does Sony follow suit, or do they
Sony doesn't
become?
need to. Sony doesn't need to at the moment. As of right now, I'd say they don't have to at all. And we'll get a little bit into one other game that Sony has a bit going, multi-platform right now. But Sony doesn't need to do it. Like, their console is the most bought, most popular. People keep buying it, and people are buying the games. So
Yeah, I think I don't. I would love to see the numbers of like how much money they stand to make, because I those games they're bringing over are not like huge games. Like Hi-Fi Rush, sure, but that's not like they're not going to sell a million copies of Hi-Fi Rush on PS5.
yep, and all
They're not.
No.
speculative.
Yeah. As opposed to like, how much are they making, Game Pass wise with subscriptions, to
Hmm.
kind of balance that out, because like you said, I mean, I don't know if you're getting into that next as far as what's coming to Game Pass, but I just want to, I don't know, like no mention of Gears of War, right? No mention of,
Mm.
of Starfield going cross
Oh,
platform,
yeah,
any of that,
Starfield's
no
another one.
Halo, nothing. That's what we were expecting.
Yeah, like the games that we can tell that are most likely, and they say 4. Hi-Fi Rush is one of them.
Yep.
Grounded, Sea
Yeah.
of Thieves,
Mm-hmm.
and then that fourth one I'm trying to
Pentiment.
remember. Pentiment is the main
Mm-hmm.
one going around.
Pentiment.
Yep.
Yeah, like those all 4 of those games are, 2 of them are online experiences, so growing the player base only helps that game and that franchise. Where the
Right.
other 2 were games that were reviewed well, but not system sellers.
Right.
Yes, I'm very excited for Pentiment. I played a little bit of that. It's a very unique game that I'm glad is actually getting some. It's falling in line with what Phil Spencer said, in terms of like the growth of that game in
Yeah,
particular. That's
for
a good
sure.
one.
But if you want to go into your Xbox stuff, you can do that. Most of my other stuff is smaller.
I was just don't. I wasn't sure if you had it written down. I was just going to bring up that the Blizzard stuff, Activision is coming to Game Pass, starting with Diablo
Couple
4
of,
Yeah.
next month. No mention again of Call of Duty, which is probably what everybody's waiting on. But it kind of sounds like maybe, I don't know. Are you thinking maybe the next one comes to Game Pass day one?
Ooh.
I
I
don't know.
don't know. I don't know.
The whole reason they went to court was because, Call of Duty going,
Yeah.
like, maybe it can be on Game Pass, but it'll still have the chance to be on PlayStation as well.
Oh, for sure. I'm
Yeah.
just thinking like, is it one of those things where they're like, it's never gonna not be multi-platform, but is it something where like, hey, if you have Game Pass, you just get it day one as like a big that would be a big thing, right? For everybody.
That
Diablo's cool,
Yeah, that would be a big thing, and that would be kind of. I mean, I'm not in Microsoft's boardroom, but I think
right?
that would be a sly way of feeling like you won something from that,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
ruling.
True. I'm trying to
I
think
don't.
of what else would be a big one that, because I mean they're like, yeah, all the Activision stuff's coming to Game Pass, and I'm sitting there like, okay, what is that besides Diablo? Do we see, do we see a World of Warcraft on Game Pass? Like you don't have to buy the monthly anymore. Is that on there? Are we going to see like the backlog of like StarCraft and that kind of stuff? Does that all show up on there? Um, but I mean, other than that, like I don't know off the top of my head, what has Activision made recently? The Tony Hawk remake.
Mm-hmm.
Crash Bandicoot. What else?
Yeah.
I'm struggling to think of what other games they've made.
I'm
Yeah,
actually
no,
looking at
you're.
it.
I'm sure I'm missing a big
Yeah.
one in there.
But yeah, it's. If I think, do you guys think we'd end up seeing past games on day one Xbox before we see the newest one on Xbox?
Like what?
Like for Call of Duty, for example,
Oh,
do we
oh
see like
yeah.
the newest one first come to Game Pass, or will we see like a rollout of older ones come to Game Pass first before?
I think older ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we start seeing them all on there. I think if the newest one, Modern Warfare 3, ends up on there sometime this year, to me that would be a good indication that the newer one coming out would be on Game Pass day one.
Yeah, I agree.
But then just some of the smaller stuff that I'll just kind of throw out there. Pulse Elite headset is getting very good reviews. For $150, it looks like it is the proper upgrade for people who want to get their stuff upgraded on the PS5. The Dice Awards Game of the Year happened, and it is Baldur's Gate 3. Ubisoft
Okay.
workers in France are going on strike. That started on the 14th due to disputes over wages. And lastly, this is all reporting, but the Switch was supposed to come out fall of 2024. It's now saying that the new Switch is going to be coming out early months of 2025.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Confirmed by like multiple sources. I saw at
Darn
least
it.
like 5 or more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of okay with it just because, and this is just me thinking, I so much need a Pokemon Legends game again. Like Arceus was just my favorite in such a long time, and Arceus released early in a year, like in February March area. So if this means we get like a new Switch and a new Pokemon Legends game to go with it, I am 100% down. 100% down. Because we're not going to get a new Zelda to go with it. So
Right.
you're looking at maybe like a Metroid and a Pokemon game to be coming out on release, which is a pretty good boon for the Switch to have. Switch 2, Super Switch, Switch Pro.
Yeah. Maybe a
True.
Odyssey 2.
Yeah. Switch
Mario
U.
Odyssey. Yeah. Switch U.
Oh God. True.
Just having fun with names.
Yeah, that kind of it bummed me out a little bit because I'm not gonna lie, I was getting a little like psyched up to trade in my old Switch and get a new one finally. But I guess I gotta wait another year. I saw March. Is that what you
Yeah,
guys saw?
it looked like it
Yeah.
seemed like Q1, like early quarter.
Okay. Cool. That was your last one?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. I got some stuff in here. Control 2, Max Payne 1 and 2 remake have increased development pace, probably thanks to Alan Wake 2. I will buy both of those day one. I don't know about you guys, but that
Most
made me
definitely.
happy.
Yeah.
So that was a big one. Respawn is working on a Mandalorian FPS. I think the way I look at it, the Mandalorian leans well to I'll say an Apex style of gameplay, don't you think? Jetpacks and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, heavy use of the jetpack.
Mm-hmm. Titanfall-esque.
Yeah.
I'm all aboard for a Mandalorian Respawn game.
I just want them to do something else other than
besides Apex.
Yeah, because like it's been 5 years, and we'll talk about Apex and games this week as well. But like that team deserves to do something else. I'm sorry, but like Apex is good, but like just make them do something with like anything, just anything else. I want to play from them.
Yep, agreed. We've been asking for Titanfall 3 forever, but I would honestly take anything.
Yeah.
The biggest piece of news for me, at least this week, was we finally got confirmation and a teaser for college football, baby.
Yep.
Ooh, let's go.
Full reveal in May. Full trailer, and we got a little bit of a behind the scenes look. What did you guys think? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't have a chance to see it. Okay. Tell me about it.
There isn't much to be said. Shot by shot is how many times I watched this.
Yep.
But so camera zooms over the Rose Bowl with I don't know who the gentleman is. I'll be
I don't
honest.
either. I don't
He's a
either.
person, but he's sitting on a sewing machine labeled EA Sports and is sewing a college football jersey together as he continues to tell you about what they're working on and that they're big fans of college football and
Right.
that they've heard that this game isn't coming out this year. They came out and said it's coming out. Uh, then showed gameplay of some of the stuff that they're working. Not really gameplay, I should say,
Right.
in development stuff. You saw Michigan State. You saw Michigan. You saw Ohio State Buckeye, the Nittany Lions. Penn
Yep.
State's in there. We saw Florida Gator. We saw Notre Dame. We saw Georgia. I
Yep.
didn't see Alabama. Alabama. Yeah, no, Alabama's in
Alabama
there.
was in there. Yep.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
mascot. The mascot was in there.
Yep.
But this, I think, was more or less to show like what schools are participating in this game because the whole thing was like, colleges, NIL, likeness, everything like that. But
Yep.
it's nice to see that. I just really hope what it looks like is they're putting attention to the spectacle of
Yeah.
what it is. The Florida State, I believe I saw them in there as well, and USC. So it's like you, I am excited for it. I just hope it's not a reskin of Madden.
Yes. Yes.
That is my main concern, and we have to wait 3 months in order to get
Yeah.
more info. So
Yep.
I got to be patient. That's all we can really do.
At least they acknowledged it because everybody's been like, it was, oh, there's going to be a trailer at the national championship game. And then it was, oh, there's going to be a trailer at the Super Bowl. And it's just been like this ongoing thing of like, where is this? Is it even
Yeah.
coming out this summer? So now
How
we
could
have
they?
confirmation.
Like this trailer would have been perfect at
Yeah.
the college. Like it's not anything
Yeah.
that showed too much gameplay. It wasn't too nerdy or
How long
anything
was
like
it?
that.
Like a
Oh,
minute.
maybe like minute
A
30,
minute?
I think it was.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
nothing. It's nothing. Anything too long, but it absolutely like this had the feel of a commercial that should have been shown.
Yeah.
In a,
Maybe it wasn't ready.
I don't. That's tough. Like I just don't
Yeah.
know how is it not ready.
True. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I don't know, but all signs point to it just like it was not ready in time for them to drop it or feel comfortable dropping it. Maybe they didn't have that
Release date.
date locked in yet,
Yeah.
and they weren't sure if it was going to come out this summer. Now they're like, okay, we can make it for this summer. As of now, it better. Other kind of sad news for me: a spiritual successor to SSX was just canned.
Oh, was it?
That kind of bums me out a little bit. I love SSX. A good snowboarding game, man.
Yeah.
Side note, there is like, everybody knows I'm all about like the Tony Hawks, the snowboarding games. There is a I forget the name right at the moment, but there is a BMX game that's coming out relatively soon, I think this year, that looks phenomenal. And I'm not even into BMX, but like I'll play those games all day, every day.
Yeah, there's
But
not a
yeah.
lot. There's not a lot in that category. So like that's good news.
Shredders is on Game Pass if you want to play a snowboarding game. It's actually pretty good. So I'd recommend that. And then the last piece of news I have, this is for Barry and I right here. Barry, are you also getting the Rift Master?
Yeah, I did see that. I'm trying to decide. Trying to
Okay.
decide if I need it or not.
So they unveiled finally a new guitar controller coming out after years and years of people asking for new ones. From all that I've read, it seems like, and this is the selling point for me, it's going to be compatible. It is wireless, but it has a dongle. So it will be compatible with Clone Hero, which is what I've been looking for because I've been scouring everywhere to try and find a guitar that I could plug into my PC to use with Clone Hero, and they're all like hundreds of dollars. So this coming out should alleviate that market and lower the prices down a little bit. And it looks like a solid, well-built controller, which is nice. I'm super pumped. I'm getting that day one for sure. Barry, you're not sold? What's like too high of a price point?
He's containing his excitement is what he's doing.
Well, yeah, because like for the most part, the main reason is I'm able to play everything I need. Like I get the whole Clone Hero portion, and if it does perform better, or if I hear that it does work with Clone Hero, I will absolutely get it, just because I
Yeah.
want something that works a little bit better without much lag.
Hmm.
Uh, but I'm just kind of holding my excitement because I just want to see if whether or not, like, are they going to do more with this?
Right.
I would love to see a drum set be made. Like, that's like
Hmm.
the next thing for me is, or just remanufacture the foot pedals at this point.
Yeah.
I broke so many foot pedals with my time
Yeah.
playing those games. So I just want to see them do more. And once I see more, I think I'd get more excited.
Yeah, and they did make a heavy emphasis on, oh, this will work with the Fortnite Music Festival once that launches support for guitar controllers, which is fine. Um, but I think I speak for most people when we're like, that's cool and all, but when are you making another Guitar Hero? Like,
Yep. Yep.
that's fine, but like, we want the real thing. We don't
Yeah,
want it
Guitar
inside
Hero
Fortnite.
Rock Band.
Give me both.
Yeah.
But I will take Clone Hero support in the meantime. But I think $100 is probably the sweet spot. What do you think?
Maybe 120, 130.
Okay.
Anything more, I'd be
Yeah.
hard pressed to go further.
He would be hard pressed,
Yeah, how
like
much
orange juice.
I'm trying to remember like the Rock Band standalone guitars, how much they were. Like 70, 80?
I can't remember, but I could have swore that, like, the bundle for a guitar
Yep.
and the game, that was $100, wasn't it? I'm almost positive.
I bought
It was
Rock Band 4 Rivals, which is the last thing they did. I bought it clearanced out at a GameStop for, I want to say, like the guitar and the game for $80. But that was
Mhm.
clearanced out. I want to say it was like 100 normally.
Yeah, I think regularly it's 100.
Yep.
So if that's the case without it, you'd think, like, there's no game or anything that goes
Right.
with it. So you'd have to think it's like at the $80 range, maybe.
This is a
Uh,
rechargeable battery though, as
okay, so
opposed to
Oh,
as
okay.
opposed to double
Yeah,
A's that they've always used. So
that
kind of
takes it
along the
up.
lines of like an elite controllers, I think how they're looking at it,
Yeah.
yeah,
as opposed to like the strum bar is supposedly, I'll put that in quotations, supposedly more durable. The buttons are not clicky anymore. They're like have a supposedly a better feel to them. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing comes out at like 150, 200. I'm gonna be real
that,
upset, but I wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised.
that would push me. That I don't
Mhm.
know if I'd buy it at that price.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
and they're probably looking at what, like, other controllers, high-end controllers, regardless of what they're used for, are
yep.
pricing at, so
I just literally just saw yesterday. I was in like our local retro game store, and they had Xbox 360, like the Guitar Hero guitar, like the circular one, for $100. Like those things are worth
Yeah,
gold at this
yeah.
moment. It's insane.
that makes sense.
But that's all I had.
Alright, I had a couple of small ones. First, a report that, came out kind of confirming some things about PlayStation's upcoming library, where not to expect any new IPs until 2025, mid-2025. Um which I believe based on the report that it was they're expecting a decline in console sales, which is funny.
Yeah.
But they're expecting a decline in console sales combined with just the projects that need to be worked on. And we had Ragnarok, we had Spider-Man 2 last year, so that's just something that we just need to expect down the road, which I think is nice because I think it kind of frees up some of us who maybe want to play other games, maybe get into a couple of more indies this year and not have to focus on an IP. But I'm sure there's some people that are upset because they want something like major that's going to drop, despite the landscape of video games that are coming out.
Yep.
Going with something you talked about, Craig, Alan Wake 2, sorry, has become Remedy's fastest selling game of all time. Um, they hit like a million as of December 2023, and then like end of 2023, and then as of this month, they hit 1.3 million copies, which would further bolster the report you had about how they have Control 2 and Max Payne coming out. So it's really nice to see Remedy flourishing. And then I had the Switch 2 thing too, but I mean, who wasn't talking about that this week? But
Yep.
Silent Hill 2 developer, Bloober Team, was unhappy with the trailer that was shown at the latest PlayStation event, which yes, they specifically called out the fact that Konami is in charge of marketing and that the particular trailer did not display the soul of the game. I may be saying that word wrong. Maybe he didn't use soul, but he definitely used something that was soul-esque. So I think it's kind of funny that Bloober did not like how action-packed the Silent Hill 2 trailer seemed, because a lot of us who watched it also didn't think that that was in the spirit of the game. That's probably the word he used, the spirit of the game. I'm not doing good
The
with what
essence.
the essence. Yeah, the essence of the game. So I thought that was funny. Hopefully that translates to the game that we get being more in the spirit of what Silent Hill 2 is supposed to be. I mean, they still can't talk down how bad it looked.
Yeah.
But at least, at least we have the developer speaking pretty much openly about how they didn't like what was shown, on paper to the masses. So, but those are the small ones I had.
Cool.
All right. Are we ready for my TikTok segment of the week?
Yeah, we're ready.
Boy.
Let's do it.
Okay, so
I'm a
I
little
had to
worried.
I had to change up the game a little
Yep.
bit this time. I
Change
know we
it up.
talked about Kingdom Hearts quotes. So you guys both said that you played Kingdom Hearts 1 a decent amount, right?
Yep.
Yep.
1 and 2.
I have quotes from just Kingdom Hearts 1 this week. You are
Okay.
going to name who said them, all with
God.
varying degrees here.
I don't even
Oh,
remember their
boy.
names.
Well, I it's been a while. It's been a while. Let's see. Let's go. Let's do
Okay,
it.
let's
Look,
do
if
it.
you can give me a general explanation of what the character looks like, I will give you
Sure.
the name. That's not a
Okay.
problem for me.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. So, question 1.
All right.
He's
Are you
so
going from
excited.
easiest to hardest?
They're kind of all over the place.
Okay. All right. Bring it
Okay.
on.
Now we can go to the outside world.
Is that
Sora.
Sora?
It's
That
not
can't be
Sora.
Is it Aqua?
Is it
It is not-
Kyrie?
it's okay. It's only Kingdom Hearts 1. There's no Aqua in Kingdom Hearts 1.
All right, fair.
No. Oh,
But
it's not. It's not Kyrie.
Yeah, come on. Now it's the other one. Who's the other one of this trio?
Okay, so we have Sora, Kyrie,
Roxas? Riku?
No.
Really? Yes,
Riku.
there it is. Riku. Riku said that. All right, we're off to a fantastic start.
I'm not going to know any of these. I already know that.
All right. Next one. Let's see here. Can I give you guys an okay? This one's probably pretty easy. Are you guys ready for this one?
Go ahead.
He who ah.
Oh, is that Tarzan?
Yes, we got a Tarzan. Yes,
That was Tarzan. We got a Tarzan. This might turn into just a Disney quote.
Yeah.
All right. This boat runs on happy faces.
Oh, that's got to be Sora.
No, that's
not.
Is that not Mickey? No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the small segment where you play
Is it
Mickey.
Goofy? Is it Goofy?
You guys are on the right path.
No,
not
it's
either of those two.
It's the from the segment. It's what is Mickey's boss based off the old like Mickey short where you're. Wait, no,
Is
am
it
I not?
Donald?
Yes, it's Donald.
Okay.
Donald.
Okay. Donald it is. You didn't say it in Donald's voice, so I didn't know.
Okay, yeah, my bad. I don't have a good Donald's voice.
Yeah.
Fair.
This should be funny then. These one of these other ones here. Well, I suppose beggars can't be choosers.
Beggars can't be choosers.
It is a Final Fantasy character
Leon
that says this. Yes,
it's Leon
yes,
because they call him Leon in the game. Yep.
There we go. Well done.
Thank you.
I feel good about that after that one. Let's see here. This one's going to be super hard. I highly doubt you'll get this one. I'll throw in a cappuccino too.
Is that not? Is that Scrooge McDuck? No.
There's no Scrooge in this game.
No, it's not.
And I'll throw in a cappuccino.
What?
Oh man.
That doesn't sound like something Minnie would say in the beginning.
It is a Disney character.
I'll throw in a capuchin. All right, let's go. Let's see. Jungle, Agrabah. No.
What kind of character would throw in a line like that?
None of them.
No, one of them
I
does.
feel like it's somebody from the Beauty and the Beast section.
It's not.
It's not. Well,
It's from Agrabah.
It's from. Is it the trader or the
Well,
the
then
bizarre
it'd have to be Aladdin,
leader
wouldn't it?
It's
or genie?
Yes, it's Genie. It's Genie that
Okay.
says that.
I'm like overthinking this and trying to do side or smaller characters. I'm like, it's the guy from Agrabah, the bizarre guy, the guy who sells
All
the
right.
lamp.
What I'm about to do is going to give it away, but I suppose I can make this easier.
Donald voice activate.
Now, Sora, let's close this door for good.
Oh,
Ha-ha.
that's goofy.
That's goofy.
That
Oh no,
sounds
no,
like
he did
Goofy?
he did the haha at the end.
Oh, it's
Was that
Mickey then.
Mickey?
Yeah,
That was
is it-
Mickey.
yeah, did I sound like Goofy there?
You did at the beginning, and then you did haha. So
Haha, Sora, let's close this door for good.
Oh my god.
God.
Well done. Well done.
That's good. You're accurately representing the game.
Yep.
This went over. You guys should have quizzed me on this instead of the other way
That
around.
probably
This
would
is
have been the better one. Yeah.
Yeah.
No Maleficent quotes, Barry, huh?
I'm just
None?
trying to remember what worlds they went to in the first one. Did they go
It was
to Little
Agrabah.
Mermaid in the first one? Or is that the
They go
second
to
one?
where?
They
They
did
go
the
Ariel?
Yes, they did that in
that
both.
was Ariel, Agrabah. Agrabah was in both. Jungle was in both.
Tarzan was in
Yeah, the jungle.
One.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I thought the jungle was in both. Okay.
Tarzan was in the third one too, right?
No, it was not.
Oh, all right. See,
oh my
we
God,
don't know.
No, we do. We got
It's
this.
okay. We just
You
don't.
go,
No,
you
you
definitely
gotta-
go. You go to Beast Castle because it's called Hollow Bastion.
Mhm.
All right.
And then there's like 3 more worlds I think we're forgetting. That's a quiz right
Okay,
there.
so I was gonna say, did I say this one yet? The great god of the underworld is afraid of a kid.
Oh, that's Hades.
Hercules. That's Hades. Oh no, that would be Phil
Zeus.
You're so
or
close.
Hercules. Hercules.
No.
Phil?
Who
That's
does
every-
Hades send out to beat Sora? Who?
Oh, he sends out
Come on.
the
You're on your own on
three-headed.
this one.
No.
Wait.
No.
Oh wait.
I-
Oh, Meg. He sends Meg.
No. No.
It's-
It's not.
how
Meg. It's Kingdom Hearts 1. Megan's not in Kingdom Hearts 1.
You telling me Meg's not in Kingdom Hearts 1? There's no way Meg's not in Kingdom Hearts 1.
I can't believe you guys don't know this one.
It's
It's a
It's
Final
Sephiroth,
Fantasy
isn't it?
character. No, it's a Final Fantasy character. You're on the right path with Sephiroth. So then it's
Cloud. Then it's
yes,
Cloud.
it's Cloud. It's Cloud. Yeah, no, this was terrible. Can we scrap this TikTok segment? Do you guys have a? Do you guys have
Listen, if there's one thing I can say about Kingdom Hearts is that all those games just kind of blur themselves together. It's very hard to like distinguish which was in which one. Like there are certain things that stick out to me from playing them so many times. Fighting Sephiroth,
Yes.
doing the god awful section with Ariel.
The 6-hour beginning
Yep.
from the second one. Yeah.
Yep. Even the beginning from the first one's memorable. On the little
Oh, yeah.
island. And the third. Beginning of the third's good.
Yeah, you select the sword, the shield, or the staff to figure out where you want your starting stats to be. That whole section is dope, and it's got an amazing song to start out too. I used to love that song when I was younger, by the way.
Nothing tops
Yeah.
simple and clean.
Well,
Icon.
I'm sorry, guys. Sorry I gave that to you. It's
Listen, it's very hard to take quotes from any video game and get them.
We should do a segment where I like bring like Metal Gear Solid quotes because that's my
I miss
favorite.
all of them. I would miss
it's got to
every
be
single one.
it's got to be one that both of us. So like you guys got Tarzan pretty easily. You guys got
Yep.
Mickey, but I did throw Mickey in there. I was really surprised with Craig's Leon. Craig got Leon real quick. There is a
Yeah.
lot of Final Fantasy characters in there at that
Mhm.
beginning.
Yeah,
How could you
'cause
forget? Come on, Craig. How could you forget Cloud? How could you forget Cloud?
you call yourself a Final Fantasy
Cloud?
7.
That doesn't count. That's not canon.
It's not canon.
It's not canon.
It's hard to tell what is canon in Kingdom Hearts.
It's true.
Yeah.
But speaking of video games, let's talk about the video games then that we played this week. So for me, I have the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo, Suicide Squad, and Helldivers 2.
I got Skull and Bones. I got A Little to the Left, and of course, our Apex is back.
Yeah, Apex. Yeah, I did play that too.
So I have also the demo for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and then I spent my entire week playing Dodako Island on
Nice.
yeah, like it's just oh my god, yeah, it's just essentially Animal Crossing. So it's from Infinite Wealth, but it's like the Animal Crossing portion of Infinite Wealth. So I wanted to report on that.
I just a side note, like I didn't play as much Infinite Wealth as I wanted to, but I did get through the first boss fight with Danny Trejo's character.
Yes, what a nice plug, right?
Can I just say that I love Danny? My God, was that man just reading off a piece of paper?
Oh yeah,
I felt so bad because it's like it almost sounded like he had no idea what he was recording a voiceover for.
Yeah.
And he was just reading the lines in front of him. I'm like, I love that you're in this game, but oh my God, maybe another take would have been needed.
Yeah, just one more.
One more. Anyway.
So
Final Fantasy VII demo.
Okay, so I was going to say we could either start with that or Final Fantasy VII demo. Okay.
You got to experience it, Barry.
Yeah. It's really good. It is really, really good.
Yep.
I had no idea what this was going to lead to. Once I got to the ending, I went, oh, that's what this is for. We kind of get the whole reason and the flashback sequence to why Cloud, it's Sephiroth kind of have those nightmare things together. I guess my only real complaint, and you guys will have to tell me if you feel the same way. Do you guys feel like the control scheme's getting a little too complicated with some of this stuff? Like,
I mean,
I was having a hard time trying to remember all the button combinations to do like the team up moves with Sephiroth, and then like just some of the newer things that they're implementing. I had a hard time remembering the controls for.
Here's what I feel. I felt playing that game the same way I felt when I picked up the DLC for Final Fantasy 16. I think we just got to get back into it because the control scheme felt very much like at home with what Final Fantasy 16 brought and the previous Final Fantasy 7. You know, the route that they're just going. So I think we just need to play it for a little bit. I was annoyed with the control scheme or the clunkiness with some of the navigation, like walking around the town, the free roaming, like maybe that gets cleaned up, but like there was times where like when Tifa was leading you in the beginning and you had a open world but with what I found out nothing in it because I was veering off the path, but every time there was changes in elevation and such, my character decided to walk very, very slowly instead of traversing a little bit quicker. I don't know if they built that in so that you're specifically in a linear fashion supposed to follow Tifa.
Yeah.
But like and it's a small complaint in comparison. But sorry, that was a little rant. The answer is like it took me a second to get back into it too. I was having some missed synchronization moves with Sephiroth myself.
I had to bump down the sensitivity because I felt like I was like moving way too quickly, like looking. It was throwing me off. So yeah, I think once we get into the game and we're like 5 hours in, it's going to be second nature.
Yeah, it does look like they did motion capture for this stuff too. Like you can see like the looking. I saw it in Cloud. Like Cloud's face like showed a lot more emotion, especially early scenes of it when you're playing as young, not traumatized Cloud. I guess he's still
more talkative Cloud.
Yeah, more talkative. Is it? Craig, you play for you? Like, is it when you saw those scenes where you're like, oh yeah, that's how I remember it?
Yeah, especially well, like, but the turnaround and walking back into the fire, that did it for me. Like iconic. It's iconic. It's I mean, they reference it in other Sephiroth related, like whether he's like whether it's Final Fantasy VII related or if he pops up somewhere else in like another game. But yeah, it felt like like just like it felt like a flashback of playing the game, so to speak,
Mhm.
And how did you feel about when he was like descending into madness after, from like discovering
Mhm.
like did you feel like they overplayed it with his facial expressions or anything like that? Do you feel like it
No,
was
because it was way over the top in the original. Like that scene when you go to the manor and you go downstairs, that's directly from the original. And he's like reading the book. I remember that, playing that. And like at the
Mhm.
time, we were a lot younger and games weren't as sophisticated as they are now. But you're like, yeah, this guy's
It's
bad
funny
news.
seeing the like the comparisons to that scene,
Yeah.
because in the scene where Sephiroth is walking away from you out of the library to outside,
Mhm.
Sephiroth's character in the remake has his arms out
Yep.
and he's
Yeah.
walking like it is hilarious. It's funny because it gives now with games and how they are, this adds a lot more like drama and tension to the scene.
Right.
Uh,
Mhm.
but what the only thing like at this point I'm starting to get like FOMO of missing out on the original,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I just need to hold out, I guess, because I'm going to be playing this one and then I got to wait for, there's most likely going to be a third
Yep.
part to this
Oh yeah.
and then I'll finally have the full experience. But
Yeah.
everything I've seen and these guys know me well enough to know like I am a Zach Fair fanboy, and
Mm.
what I've seen of Zach now that I have no clue what's going on. I'll be honest. Like Zach was never a part of the original, right? Like there was nothing
No.
leading.
No,
No.
he
Yeah.
wasn't in it at all.
So like trying to tie him in, I wonder how is it going to feel to you guys when they inevitably change things? Is my weirdness. Like hopefully it doesn't bring down the experience. Hopefully it just makes it better, but I do worry about that. The tried and trues are going to like want a more faithful remake, where I feel
Yeah.
like it doesn't feel like they're going to do that. It feels like they're changing the entire narrative.
I think what they've shown, at least in what it feels like to
At
me, is
least
that
you've seen, yeah.
yeah, like the main story points they're not changing, and this reinforces
Mhm.
that. Like those pivotal scenes, I think we're still going to get, but everything else I'm just kind of looking at as like a new interpretation on how you get to that final end scene, which is like seared in my brain. So I know how it looks when I originally played it, and I have a feeling that like when we get to that next
Yeah.
game, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, that's how I remember it.
Yeah.
But everything else in between, I don't really care if they change. It's fine.
I'm in the same boat. I know Craig is a more dedicated Final Fantasy VII head than myself, even though I recognize it as a classic.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't. I, as long as they do, yeah, like the scene you're talking about, Craig, like word
The
for
end?
word, shot for yeah, the
Yeah.
end, yeah,
Mhm.
word for word, shot for shot, like
Yeah.
please.
Yeah,
But
don't change it.
like as far as Zach's inclusion in this, and if it changes some small plot points or a couple of dialogue changes or something like that, or I don't, it's
It's
not gonna
fine.
bother me.
Yeah.
I just
Just
want it in
give it
my
to me
hands.
already. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
real.
yeah, we're 11 days away.
Yeah, we're so close. I am very excited. I'll be honest. Like after playing the demo, I'm like, I gotta finish. That's why I'm playing so much of Suicide Squad right now. Is because I'm trying to finish up some of this stuff before
Yeah.
this game comes out.
Fair. Yep.
So then should I just roll right into Suicide Squad then?
Do it.
Suicide it
Do
up.
it.
Please don't.
Okay, so a lot more fuller insight into Suicide Squad. I am having a lot of fun with it. This game isn't nearly as bad as what everyone says it is.
Good.
There are some like glaring points to it. One, I love the writing.
Yeah.
Everyone has there is more characterization and fun moments than I've seen in recent gaming. Like could take the writing from this and Last of Us 2. They're both great in their own separate ways. Like whereas with Suicide Squad, it's a lot more funny but still serious and lighthearted. Like I've grown to love all the characters. I do admit Deadshot is kind of a bore for me, but the other three, Captain Boomerang, Harley Quinn,
Yep.
and King Shark, are all very very memorable characters that I really like.
Mm,
Um, I'm now in the part where I'm getting to kind of the multi dimension stuff of the game,
Yep.
I've defeated 2 Justice League members, and I really just enjoy the combat in the game. I do admit I'm not the biggest fan of the mission types where I can only damage enemies a certain way. Like,
Yeah.
I just wish it was like decreased damage. That would be a much nicer thing to do. But overall, like, it's making me like that counter shot button configuration was very confusing to me. I am now very good at it because you
Hmm.
have to be with some of these missions. You have to be, able to get that out. So overall, I'm happy with that. The Flash fight, just real quick, because that's like what got the most flack
Yeah.
out of everyone. I do admit there's not a good explanation to what to do. I spent the first half of that fight like, where's my moment to like wail on him and hit him, not knowing that you just need to charge up your counter shot, hit him with it, and then you can just start shooting him like regular in between all of his moves. I can understand where that reviewer, like the IGN reviewer for once, um, kind of came in because that's not explained to you that well. Like
Yeah.
you hit him with a counter shot, and you're kind of like, okay, where's this moment that I'm supposed to hit him with? The moment is all the time. It
Hmm.
doesn't, it's not like a certain thing. But I wanted to ask you, Craig, because you finished the game. Are all the bosses? Do you just like finish them? They go to the center of the stage, and then I just shoot them to death. That is
What do you mean? Oh, not really. No.
because like with Flash and with Green Lantern, I killed
Hmm.
them both, and
Yep.
now they're in like the center of the stage. So I try to go up close to them, and then a thing beams me backwards. So
Oh,
I
really?
just shoot them, and then it starts the cutscene.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if there's a cool animation or something that's supposed to happen when you get a member of the Justice League, but it does feel a little anticlimactic.
I always just kind of kept shooting until their health bar was all gone. So I didn't really notice, but I think you're right. They do tend to go back to the middle when they're like a sliver
Yeah.
left and you
Yep.
just like shoot them. Um, yeah. I mean, they don't all end that way.
Okay.
Um, there's other, you know, like the Batman fight's completely different. Um, the Superman fight is is the one where I was the most confused. That's at the
Okay.
end, obviously, but I was just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. But once you figure it out, it's a tough fight, but at least you're like, okay, I get it. I know what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, I did you have you had any you've had a few cutscenes with Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I have her who I don't know who's playing her, but I have her down as like I'm gonna nominate her for best acting at the end of the year because she does a phenomenal job as Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I do wonder if I'll see more of her to feel that way because, like, right now for me, it's Harley. Harley is
Oh yeah, Harley's
Mm,
great. Yep.
like,
Harley's great.
yeah, this she is the embodiment of Harley.
Okay.
Um, and again, I didn't expect to like Captain Boomerang as much as I do. He
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
the butt of every joke.
he
He is
is.
I don't know, it's fun. Like even when he kills the Flash and they do like the whole joke thing and Deadshot goes, "Oh, whoa, congratulations." I was like,
Yep.
"Really? I didn't expect this." Like it's taking it so non-seriously cuz even Harley and King Shark are like, "What?"
Yep.
It's
Yep.
like you've been cursed in every other way, but not this one. And it's like, oh God, it's like
Yep.
a drink videos joke.
Yep.
And even before
Yep.
it came out, it
Yep.
feels like. Um, but I,
Yeah,
I really do enjoy it.
you'll see more of Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's kind of like um I appreciate that like you're fighting every member of the Justice League, but Wonder Woman's like the one holdout, right? Like she's the one who
Mm,
doesn't get turned. So she tends to show up here and there throughout.
Mhm.
And I just appreciate every time she's on the screen, you're like, man, she killed it, every time.
But yeah, no, I am enjoying what I've been playing so far. Like everyone, the game is pretty too. I'll have to
Hmm.
admit that. And now that I've mastered like the movement system, like I love teleporting around with Captain Boomerang.
Yeah.
Like it rewards you for going very quick, showing you where to go, sprinting. Like all the movement options are just fun. I feel like each one is different enough because like for me, I am playing as both King Shark and Captain Boomerang.
Hmm.
I pretty much just switch in between the two depending on who's psyched up,
Right.
and go from there. This game isn't nearly as bad. I do admit, the looter shooter is kind of played out. Missions are yes, very boring because it's pretty much just either gave or save people, shoot this person, and you only do damage doing this one thing. Is every single one of them. I get that. But much like Marvel Avengers, the story parts are fun
Yep.
and they bring me joy. That's all I can ask for my game.
They bring
They bring me joy.
they
That's
bring me
fair.
joy.
You know what? You know what doesn't bring me joy?
Oh, tell us about it.
Skull and Bones, baby.
Let's go.
I was telling, I told Barry this a couple days ago, I believe, but this was a factor of me forgetting that I still had Ubisoft Plus.
Oh, that's right.
And I was like, oh, I forgot to cancel Ubisoft Plus. Guess I'll try Skull and Bones. The thing is like, if you really like sailing around on pirate ships, it's fine. I don't think it's a bad game. But for somebody who's like, I enjoyed it in Black Flag, but it wasn't like my main enjoyment of the game. That's, the main part of this game. Like, you do get off your ship and you go onto islands and you're doing stuff on the islands, but all your combat is in the boat. And it starts off like you're on not even a boat, you're on like a raft pretty much, and you're like throwing spears at sharks, and then you slowly upgrade. There's just some questionable decisions, and there's plenty of videos out there if you go search them, but like if you damage another ship and then you go to board that ship, it does like this animation where you throw hooks onto the ship and then it just says boarding complete and it gives you a list of the items you got. That's
Oh,
it.
come on.
And I was
Really?
like in Black Flag, you would like swing from your ship and land on the other one, and then you'd be stabbing people because it was Assassin's Creed. But like here, it's just like boarding complete. Here's your items, and then like the ship just sinks. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I can't imagine very many people are going to stick with this game very long. At this point, it does kind of feel like they got to the point where they were just like, just put it out. Like we're not going to waste any more time. It's already been 11 years, I think,
Yeah.
since it was first announced. Just get it out there and let's be done with it and move on. I would say like if you happen to have a Ubisoft Plus membership, sure, try it out, see what you think, but definitely don't go and spend $70 on this game. It ain't worth it.
There should be no phrase boarding complete in a pirate game.
Boarding
Like,
complete. Yeah.
boarding.
Like, why, of all things, like, if you're not going to have, like, battling and fighting on the ground, why would you not have a boarding, some sort of thing on the other person's ship? Like, why? I don't understand why they would just be like, nah, we don't need that.
Yeah, but how? Yeah, and like, how can they put that in Black Flag and it work?
Yeah.
Because like
Yep.
I forget. It's been so long since I played Black Flag. But when
Mhm.
you board, don't you like speed up owning the other ship by like looking for the captain and killing him
Yeah.
first? Yeah,
Mhm.
like there's a whole system. There's a whole
Yeah.
specific system on when did that game come out?
Oh, years and years and years ago. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's just very questionable decisions on this game. I think it started with good intentions and it just kind of spiraled out of control and they couldn't get it under control and they were just gave up, honestly. This is going to be a game that's like $20 in like 2 months. It will be. Still not worth it at that point.
Oh,
So,
I was gonna say, should I do Dundako Island real quick? Or
Yes, because I'm still not to that point in that
so
game.
if you have a significant other who really likes Animal Crossing, I highly suggest that you get to chapter 5 or 6 whenever that is introduced and you let them play this game if they are looking for some type of Animal Crossing like situation. So it is a little different. Like I said, they introduce it like midway through the game. You end up on this island. They introduce the basic mechanics, and then you're able to go back and play the entire game without going back. Well, I
Mhm.
decided to go back because I wanted a little bit of a change or something to take me away from Infinite Wealth for a second while still playing the game.
Mhm.
it's such a great Animal Crossing clone with a little bit of fighting in it. So they introduce the story really doesn't matter about what the island is, but like essentially the island is overrun with trash. There's a couple of people on the island that recruit you and just say, "Hey, we want to make this great again in terms of a resort." And this used to be like a flourishing island. Now it's just a bunch of trash. And hey, there's a gentleman over there who's a pirate, ironically, a swashbuckler, as they were calling him. And they're like, hey, this person keeps throwing trash on the island with all his no do good or no do good people or whatever. So can you
No
help us?
do-goers?
No do goods. I'm not doing well.
Do-gooders.
I'm not doing well with words today, by the way, with dual city or whatever I said. But long story short, there's a bunch of resources that you get on the island. You take the bat that you're given and you hit stones and trees down and you get wood and stone so that you can build things. There's a day-night cycle as well. During the day, you can do all of the particular things that you need to do on the island. At night, it's recommended that you go back. You don't have to, but the game kind of tries to usher you to do that when it gets into like the real evening portion, and not sunset. But I thought it was just going to be some like standard game, um, and it like consumed me for this past week. You have 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, and 5 star. Each have different like specific needs, but you have to balance how popular the island is, which with also like what you're building on it to try to build it up for this gentleman who comes to inspect it for you to get your next star. So you create buildings to build up that particular section so that you can reach that level. And then your popularity is based off of um, like rare things that you find. Later on, you could actually purchase commercialing for it to try to like bring more people to the island and such like that. But it's really really engrossing, and as you start to gather resources and you start building random things, and I'm talking you can build everything from a sushi bar to a coffee truck to, you eventually build lodging so that you can have people on the island, and they do 3-day vacations on the island, and in that time you have to impress them so that they spend more money at the attractions and things that you have on there. So it's just like an ever growing list of things that you're balancing. There's farming that comes later,
Oh my
like
god.
a whole separate farming section where you can utilize your sujimon
Hmm.
that you've collected throughout the game to farm, to train, to do all types of things. So I mean, I'm kind of explaining it in a like things happen like as you get more stars and then they introduce new mechanics, but I don't know, like it took me it got me to the point where like I was waking up and I wanted to just log back in and see where my island's doing. Where it's better than Animal Crossing is that anything you build does not have a time limit that you have to wait before it's completed. So it's very streamlined. I got to 5 stars in about 10 hours of gameplay, which I
Okay.
didn't think was going to be that, just to give you a heads up, Craig, of how long it would take. What's
Okay.
enticing, and for anybody who is playing Infinite Wealth that's listening or watching, the reason why I did want to do this also is there is a lot of things you could spend money on in Infinite Wealth and not as many ways to make money in the beginning chapters, mid chapters.
Yeah.
You get 10K just for getting 1 star resort. I
Oh,
had
cool.
I had 50K by the end of the whole thing.
Okay.
And like every character needs like a weapon, every
Yeah.
character needs armor. It's like it's a very pricey game in game. Like not that
Yeah.
there's any like, like money you have to spend. So there's a reason to finish it. There's a
Mhm.
reason to start it, and there's definitely a reason to play it. So I recommend it to anybody. I almost stopped and gave that part to my wife so that she can play it. Um the minimal
Cheater.
yeah. The minimal fighting that you have to do is the swashbucklers do come, and they do call them this. They come occasionally to try to ransack or destroy the town. And in order to clear out other portions of the island, you do have minor boss battles. They're not hard, but minor boss battles where you have to like knock out the group that's occupying that area. So that's for anybody who maybe doesn't like the combat of that, that would be the only deterring factor, but it's not hard to swing the bat. It's really not hard to dodge them at
Yeah,
all. So, but it's a good portion of the game that I think everybody should try.
cool. Just takes you 20 hours to get there.
It does. It
Yeah.
does take you 20 hours to get there, and then it's another 10-hour distraction
Yeah.
from the actual game.
Word.
All right, so it's either a little to the left or Helldivers 2.
A little to the left is just real quick. It's like I've had it on my Steam wish list forever, and then they just added it to Game Pass, which answers my question on whether or not I was buying it on PC. Um, it's just one of those games that's like it's like unpacking, super chill. You're just organizing. Each level is a different thing you're organizing. They take like anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes to figure out little puzzles. Be like, all right, what order do these pencils go in? Okay, what order do these books go in? It's just been like a super chill in between where I'm like, I don't really feel like focusing in on Infinite Wealth or, Apex is driving me nuts. So I'm just going to go play a little to the left for like a half hour. It has nice, relaxing music and just like chill. I love those games. Unpacking was phenomenal for that. House Flippers, phenomenal for that. And this is right up there with it. I haven't checked if it's on PC Game Pass, it's definitely easier with a mouse. So I would say do that. But if not, it's definitely doable on a controller.
Yeah, I think it's on PC Game Pass. I think I saw it
Sweet.
earlier
Sweet.
this week when I was checking
Good.
Game Pass.
Definitely check that out.
All right, so the game that's kind of taken over the internet right now,
Yeah.
Helldivers 2. I bought it on PC. You can cross-play between PC and PS5, so if you guys want to buy it, you can. My impressions are very light because I can't play much of it because the servers are constantly full. And then the one time I did get in, I couldn't play anything. It kicked me out and crashed.
Wow.
So, couple of PC issues, and I know they're working on it, and they have been. But overall, like what I can tell you about this game is one, the movie is what called Star Troopers. Like it
Starship
is
Troopers?
funny.
Yeah.
Starship
Yeah, it
Troopers.
is
Yeah.
funny Starship Troopers all over it.
Okay.
The opening video
Good.
is a funny video about spreading, patriotism, and you are a hell diver, and it's all about you need to spread patriotism to the neighboring galaxies. The tone is very aware of itself, and I think that lends itself like to being a better game. Uh, what ends up being kind of the best part of it is the memories you kind of make with your friends, and I can't there have been other games before that are like this. Like it's a multiplayer only experience. You can play single player, but it is a harder game if you do that. But
Okay.
just the fun memories you get to have with your friends playing this game is what's going to make it for you. Uh, and then at that point, and that's not saying a lot because really any game is good when you're playing with friends as long as you've got it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I could see the potential here. It is going to be a lot of fun once things get fixed up and it can be playable like on a regular basis
Okay.
for me. I see very high potential with Helldivers 2, and I can see why everybody is talking about it.
Yeah, it's definitely interested me, but the same thing you said, I was like, all the reviews I watched were like, if you're playing by yourself, it's not that fun. I was like, oh well, I don't know if anybody else is getting it, so I'm not going to spend $70 on something if it's like, oh, this isn't fun and nobody on my friends list is playing. So I'm glad you have it.
Yeah, no, I currently have 7 friends. All like
Okay.
and once you play it, like it's one of these games where like we played Suicide Squad together.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, hey, I get to show them. Nobody seems to mind playing like Helldivers and playing those first missions with you again. It's
Okay.
just
Okay.
fun. And I
Cool.
think that's something, despite the fact that my friends are a little bit farther than me because they've been able to make the game work, they still want to play like with me when I'm first starting off because
Awesome.
it's like some of the most fun that the game has to offer, and I'm excited to continue to get into it. Hopefully they increase server size and fix the PC bugs sooner rather than later.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But this is a massive success for PlayStation and the Helldivers 2 team. So
Yeah.
hopefully this game deserves all the praise it's getting. I can tell you that right now.
Sweet.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
All right. Movies and TV shows then. I only watched Madam Web.
Okay. I watched The Iron Claw. Finally, Double Blind, and then I watched the Grand Tour, the Sand Job, the new special.
Oh, okay. I unfortunately did not watch anything new this week, so I think Craig, you're gonna.
Barry's carrying it with the Madam Web, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely carrying it.
The
Yeah.
world is waiting. Do you want me to just knock out mine? We can do that, and then
Sure.
we'll give you this floor. The
Sure.
Iron Claw. I've been waiting to see this movie for a while. I probably should have went and saw it in theaters, but I did not. Zac Efron and just being jacked as he's ever been. It's a story, a true story for the most part, of a family of professional wrestlers and how they are cursed. I really, really like this movie. It's just a very depressing movie, so go into it with that mindset that like you're not going to be really that happy ever in this movie. But it's a movie where everybody is acting their butts off, and it's just an engaging, engrossing movie. Like I was just like, man, this family is just has the worst luck in the world. They have a horrible father, and just I don't know. I don't want to give too much away, but I really, really enjoyed the Iron Claw. So I would highly recommend that. Um, Double Blind, I had not heard about this movie at all. I saw it was on streaming, so I checked it out. It is I guess we'll call it a horror thriller. It has to do with people who are doing a trial, like a trial for a new type of medicine, where they're giving them these pills. And long story short, without giving too much away, basically what happens is they all find out that if they go to sleep, the medicine that they're taking will kill them. So it's like this big thing of like they're trying to stay awake for I think it's like 4 or 5 days in a row,
Oh,
because as soon as they close their eyes, like they like the blood will start coming out of their every orifice will start bleeding. But they're it's just like as they go on, they more and more of them start having hallucinations and they start like freaking out and just as you would if not sleeping for a bunch of days in a row. It was entertaining. I think it's worth a watch once. It kind of had like a 28 Days Later vibe to it, like that
okay.
kind of style. Yeah, I think it's good. I don't think it's gonna win any awards or really be known anywhere. I didn't recognize anybody in the movie. But for a good little like thriller slash a little bit of horror, you could do worse. So Double Blind for sure. Check that out. And
Hmm.
then the Grand Tour Sand Job, man, every time they do a special, I love those three guys. I will watch anything they do ever. This one, they're driving across the Sahara Desert in cars, and it's just more of the same. Barry, you and I both love watching these all the time.
Yeah.
Um, 100% go watch that. I don't even need to explain it. Just like if you're into the Grand Tour and those three just getting into craziness and sabotaging each other the whole time and dumping sand in each other's cars, and it's just like the most ridiculous time. It felt like old Top Gear to me, more so than the other specials, which I really, really appreciated. I think that's like when they stop doing these things, I'm going to be really sad, like really sad, because
Yeah.
I look forward to these every time they come out. That's on Amazon Prime. You can go watch that right now. 100% do that.
Okay.
But give me the best movie of the year, Barry.
Yes,
Madam Web.
greatest.
Okay, so Madam Web, the historically reviewed
Yes.
badly movie, I think it's fine. I and that's the
Stop being
most I'm
nice.
gonna go with it. Like it. So here's a couple things. I definitely see where the movie's a little bit of a mess in its pacing and story and like story writing. Uh, like it everything you see online is true. Like
Okay.
the women in the spider suits, it's only during dream sequences.
Ugh.
So it's not even it's not even like in real time.
Okay.
One of the things that like really irked me is Ezekiel Sims, like his character. I don't know what's up with his voice, but it feels like at some point like they're dubbing over the stuff he's saying. Like his lips are moving, but it sounds like someone's voicing over Ezekiel Sims. It is so strange. It is the weirdest thing. Maybe he doesn't move his mouth a lot when he talks, but there are portions where he's saying stuff and his mouth isn't moving. And I'm like, what is like I it was so off-putting like the
Oh boy.
entire time. The one of the positive things I have to say about the movie is like the practical effects slash CGI a lot of what they did is with practical effects, so it doesn't look terrible. It for a lot of superhero movies that we've been seeing lately with terrible CGI, this is not one of those movies. I think
Okay.
everything looked fine there. Um, and that's why this movie, it does have like some redeeming qualities to it. Sydney Sweeney is one of them. Isabella Marced is also one of them. This movie's just filled with hot people all of the
Mm-hmm.
time. There is not one bad looking person in this movie. Everyone's hot.
Everyone's
Um,
hot.
but that's why I kind of feel like it has the same potential as Venom, where Venom was reviewed very poorly,
Mm-hmm.
and it made millions of dollars. Now, I don't see this movie necessarily being a total flop, but uh, again, I enjoyed portions of it, and then other portions I was like, "What's going on?" There's a portion in me, and this may be just because I don't understand or don't know it, but there were portions of it where the mother gives birth, and her stomach is still inflated if she's pregnant, and I'm not sure if that's the case in real life. I'll be honest, um, but I just thought it was so weird. I was like, "Wait, what is going on?" And maybe it's because I don't understand pregnancy. I'll be completely upfront. It may
Maybe
be
it's
my
because I
fault.
don't.
It may be my fault. I'll be
It may be
completely
mine.
fair.
I
Maybe.
But
I honestly think that this movie's gonna do better than they thought because of how bad it's getting ripped. Because people are like, "Oh my god, this movie's terrible. I have to go see it."
Mm,
well, it's just because outside of the like Dakota Johnson is the leading person in this film, and
Yeah.
Ezekiel Sims. The three girls, I'm sorry, they do nothing until the very end of the movie. All they do is complain and then do what they're not supposed to do. What Dakota Johnson's character tells them specifically not to do, they do. Like like those three characters, like they essentially do nothing. Really,
Okay.
essentially do nothing. And it it's funny for me where like this movie all takes place during like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and at one point she has to travel to Peru to figure out how to use her powers, and it's like, oh, okay, like a week went by like that quickly. Like, were you in Peru for 2 days? Like, she's searching for a place that no one knows where to find it. So
yeah.
it's like she snap of her fingers. It's like, oh yeah, I got it. I know exactly where it is. They found me. We're good. So it's
You're not making it sound any better, Barry.
You're not.
there are again. I think the practical effects are fun. I do think the ending of the movie like is a fun action, action fest. I do enjoy that. Seeing Madam Web's powers are fun, and seeing how she gets to use them, I think are fun. But
Okay.
when she's first learning her power, it is very confusing. Like when does it start? When do these visions happen? Like, is there some sort of key sign that I'm missing? Because a lot of it will happen, and then deja vu happens, and it happens again, and you're like, okay, but like as a person who's watching the movie, like I need to know, like it can't be this confusing to figure out like when when her powers are accidentally acting up. It is, yeah, it's fine. That
It's a
is what I'll
movie.
put
It's
it at.
fine. It's a movie. It was shot
I
and it was a movie.
I don't think it's terrible. I've seen terrible movies. It's not terrible. Um, but just keep that in mind. Like I went into this movie with extremely low expectations, and it it rose slightly above my expectations, very slightly. Um,
I
I
I
don't know.
think what
Sydney Sweeney's in it.
yeah. I think what bothers me the most is like this movie, which from what you're saying kind of seems like it was very poorly written, right? There's plot holes all over the place. Is, put out there and just gets horrible reviews, but at the same time you have this story going on with the like Looney Tunes movie, the Acme whatever, that's like they're
Yeah.
refusing to put
Yeah.
out, which is
Yeah.
actually the people have seen it have been like, oh, it's actually really good. And like they're just refusing to sell it, to put it out, because they would rather take the tax break by destroying the movie. And at the same time, you have Madam Web out there, which is just like from what I've read and can tell, is like people in suits being like superheroes, they'll like this, and just
Yeah, just like
puking a
throwing it.
script out and being like, yeah, put that out and get Dakota Johnson, who's been just absolutely trashing this movie every chance she gets, and she's your main person. It's crazy to me. Like
Mhm.
I want to see it because I just want to see how bad it is, but I'm not paying money to see this movie. I'll watch it when
Yeah,
it's streaming somewhere.
Yeah.
yeah. Again, I do think that depending on where they go with further, like maybe when the girls actually get their powers, it will be more of an action, more fun movie.
Yeah.
But just the point of the three girls is just very. It's there isn't much to it other
Okay.
than that, and it is a prequel story. Like I see the potential in what they're trying to do, maybe setting up Madam Web 2 or setting up whatever's next
Please don't.
for them. But I see it. I see what they could do with it and where it could be a fun action movie, especially like for we're seeing all of like the women led
Yeah.
stories now with Captain or what is it, the
The
Marvels that have
Marvels.
now
The Marvels,
yeah,
yep.
now recently out on Disney Plus. Uh, but at least those characters had some setup before their movie where
Right.
like it feels like maybe they should have done a setup for like the three girls or something before
Yeah.
because it is not explained how they get their powers, not at all. Like
How
it
long's the
is
movie? Like, could
I,
they have afforded an extra 10 minutes to do that, you think? Based on how long the movie was? Like, to set up the carrot, the girls.
so the problem I think is that so much of the selling point is on the three girls
Yeah.
and then it's all on Madam Web. Like I think it's a mixture of bad marketing and bad like you got these A-list actors.
Dakota Johnson's a terrible actress. Let's just put that out there. She sucks.
My mom really likes her, so I can't say anything if she's listening. She's not listening.
she's
If she's
she's
listening,
not
she's
great.
not
She's not
listening.
great.
What is she in?
I'm more irritated that Sony refuses to sell the rights to Spider-Man and they're just like scraping for anything Spider-Man they can put out. There's still a Craven movie coming out.
Oh, that's
And I guarantee you that movie's going to be trash too. Like they don't care. They're just like, yeah, how else can we make money off of Spider-Man? Everybody loves Spider-Man, but they don't actually take the time to like put your Spider-Man in the movies. That's all you'd have to do. Bring in Tom Holland to do a 10-minute cameo in these movies and everybody will go. But they don't even
yeah.
bother to do that. They're just like, man, Craven, Madam Web, Venom. Venom is the one that bothers me the most because Venom is a cool
Yeah,
anti-hero and they
he's a
just
cool anti.
first
Yeah.
one was okay and then that second one, oh my god. It just makes me angry when I think about what Sony's doing to Spider-Man. So much potential.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's where we're at. Like with
Yep.
them, like we didn't talk about like they did reveal the cast for Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
That's
Pedro
coming
again,
out
huh?
in July, along with the same month as Superman Legacy. So there is that.
Mhm.
Yep.
But yeah, just go in knowing what your expectations are for Madam Web, and I don't. Again, I was very pleasantly surprised with the effects, and I thought they were done very well. And the ending, while I can't wait to see your reaction to Ezekiel Sims and his character overall. I can see why people are bashing on the movie. I
Fair.
just go to a movie to have fun, and I had fun. Like all
Okay.
lowercase letters,
There you go.
the period at the end.
Like the band. Fun.
Like the band. Yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot about them.
exactly how you.
They also use a period at the end.
Yeah,
Fun. Period.
like that's all it is. It's not capital F or capital U or capital N with an exclamation point. It's just fun.
Okay.
Fun.
Fair enough.
Did I say that monotone enough? Was that?
You sounded like you said fun but hated it.
Yes, there we go. That's what I was saving for.
It's very Ben Stein the way you said
Yeah.
that.
What I actually do hate, though, is that this is the ending of the podcast. I appreciate everyone for listening, and if you feel so inclined, please make sure to leave a review and share it with your podcast listening friends on your podcast listening platform of choice. If you're watching YouTube, please make sure to like and subscribe. Give me TikTok segment ideas, because as you can see, I flopped the Kingdom Hearts one. I thought these guys knew their Kingdom Hearts. I was wrong. I should be the one that's getting
Ouch.
not them.
Ouch.
Man.
Jesus.
Look, I did quizzes and I did all right. So it's like, okay, like I thought we were doing all right, and no. It- are we gonna put that on TikTok, Craig, as our social media manager? Are we putting that on
I don't
TikTok?
think I can. It makes us all look bad.
And it's just like we don't play video games at all.
They're not going to take us credible anymore.
Yeah, you're just gonna cut the part in with my Mickey Mouse
Yep.
impression that I guess sounded
There
like
it
loop.
is.
On loop for
Yeah,
10
yeah.
minutes.
Yep. Well, we thank everyone for listening and the support. We will see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, guys.